Okay, we can probably
All right.
kick in, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, let's go.
Cool. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for jumping on. We've had another massive week, like we always do, seems these days. Got a few things to announce this week, so I'll just kick into it. Everybody's been asking two main questions: when mint and mint price. So I'll let you all know what the mint price is right now. So we're looking at we've confirmed that we're doing 0.09 ETH per box. And that box will have the 5 NFTs in it, the 4 characters and the 1 brain. There will be no difference in prices for box. The rarity levels will be randomized. So random chance to get an ultra box. So that's the details on the mint price. The when mint, we'll be confirming this on Monday for 100% sure, but and this AMA won't come out until Monday, so I don't mind telling you all now on here that we're looking at the 20th for the mint date. But as I said, that will be confirmed and written in blood on Monday for you all.
Yeah, so 20th of October, David's blood. So it's real. The blood of robots. But 20th of October for the mint date. Save the date. Do not miss it out. We'll have a countdown on the website for everyone, and obviously as we go through, we'll be making sure we remind people in terms of any kind of changes to schedule or more specifics on timelines and stuff like that. The mint price, we've decided to keep it, really good value for 5 NFTs. And I hope that everyone can kind of get in and we can get quite a broad community in there to have a starting point for growing this out.
Yeah, that's kind of the point of all this. We want to get a good, loyal community behind the project, and you guys have all supported us so far, and it's been fantastic. It's not about a cash grab and dump. This is a long-term project, and that community and that big community reach is an important part of it.
Yeah, I think the other thing to kind of keep an eye out for is more details coming on the All-Stars Genesis Drop toy boxes. So we've released in the Leaks channel the tiers, and then next week we'll start to tell more about which each tier does. So all these will be random, so you'll have to kind of mint through the mint to see if you get one of the rare ones or not. But each one's going to offer some pretty awesome benefits. Even starting with the basic one, you're going to get 4 NFTs with that, so that's pretty cool. Right up to the Ultra, which has got some awesome stuff inside.
And as well as details on the customization mechanics, which is honestly super cool. So you don't only get a unique character, but you can actually get involved in making it your own, which is going to be pretty dope.
Sweet. So should we start getting some questions up?
Yeah.
See, there's a hand out there.
Hey, welcome, Tybo. Is that okay?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Just got to get my child to be taken from my hands. Sorry about that.
It's okay, man. Don't worry.
So, yeah, I've got a few questions. Will the stadium be involved in the boxes? And also, how many are going to be mintable?
Yeah, so there's 10. Go ahead, Dave.
All right. Yes. So 10,000 boxes will be minted. In those boxes, 40,000 characters and 10,000 brains. The stadiums will be released at a later date.
Yeah, so the idea with the boxes is one box is one team. So you have 4 players on a team, and you get your first starter brain, which you can link up to one of your team players. And then as the Asto token drops, you'll be able to mine new brains for the rest of your characters by staking that Asto token.
Yeah, so about the Asto token, I know that you guys are doing liquidity mining, but are you also providing liquidity with ETH and the Asto token at a set price? Or what exactly are we going to expect when it comes to being able to purchase it? Is it just going to slowly come onto the market through just liquidity mining, or are you guys going to LP it?
So yeah, there'll be initially proof of capital pools. So you'll be able to stake assets like USDC or other ones that we'll announce to receive Asto in return. And then once that starts to kind of vest out of those proof of capital pools, then people will be able to make a market for it and purchase the tokens that come out that are distributed through that vesting.
And how long will that liquidity mining event likely go on for?
The actual timeline for the full rollout, kind of rollout of the pools there is, I think, over the 2-year period. So it's quite a long event and designed to kind of provide sustained incentives for liquidity in the protocol. But obviously, there'll be a desire to make those curves such that we get a good distribution out to the community early on so they can start to participate in the staking processes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Cool. So the Ultra or Mythic, do we know the amount that those are going to be in the mint? Or is it just like, well, that will be announced later?
Yeah, that'll be one of the things that we'll announce later.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's all I got for now. But really, really, really hyped for this project. I've been like deep diving into everything I can find. I've listened to every AMA. I've like watched the Delphi Digital podcast, and I'm here for the 4th one. And I've been a fluff earner since it got released on the secondary. I missed out on the initial mint, but
don't miss out on this.
Yeah, I'm not whitelisted, so it'll be hard.
Yeah, cool, man.
I'd have to go in a coma to miss out.
We appreciate the support.
Yeah, no, really excited for this project, and I love what you guys are doing.
Thanks man.
No worries.
All right, so we got another hand up now.
DJ Woodhouse, come on up.
Just accept the invite.
Cool.
Welcome.
It looks like you're on mute. No, still can't hear anything.
Push to talk. How about now?
There you go.
Got it.
There's like 3 stages to getting my voice out there. Hey, a real quick question, and it's probably something you've already said, so I'll be embarrassed if that's true. How many mintable per whitelisted wallet?
So whitelist. Oh, carry on there. Sorry.
That's to say, we haven't actually kind of said that today, so don't feel too embarrassed. But yeah, 2 stages. So in the whitelist, you'll be able to mint 1 per whitelisted wallet, and then in the main sale, you'll be able to mint 3 per mint.
That's all I needed to know, but I'll tag another one on. How large is the whitelist?
It hasn't closed off yet, so we don't have those details.
But there are at least over 3,000 fluff addresses that will be on the whitelist.
Oh, but will you be limiting it, or could it theoretically take up the whole 10,000?
No,
It won't. Definitely
not
won't.
close. Yeah.
Cool, that's everything. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Good.
you.
Okay, do we have any other requests?
3,999 members on our Discord, guys.
One more.
One more.
Someone make an ASM and make it join. It's a really good number leading up to a mint. I feel like that's a good, strong core community that are all going to get the chance to get in there and have an ASM.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh, Dad. Is this the Dad? No.
No. It's a dad.
It's
Hey,
Dad.
Dad.
Welcome, Dad. You're on mute there.
I appreciate it. Everyone's dad here, so I'll try and provide some, fatherly advice.
Thanks.
No, I'm new to this project. I just joined the Discord actually today, so I consider
cool.
me a noob here. But it seems interesting. I'm still, reading up on everything. It appears that I'm clearly much too late for the whitelist, but if there's anything that I can do to, help out or whatever, happy to hear it.
Oh,
Yeah, thanks,
awesome.
Man.
We've got some stuff that Carmen's working on for the community. I don't know if you have dropped some details about this. Sorry to alpha all over you, Carmen, but we will be doing a doing a little bit of a treasure hunt. Yeah.
Yeah, Nova and I have got some cool things coming up that you can get involved with, and you certainly haven't missed out on everything. So just keep an eye on the announcements channel. Maybe have a dig through some of those leaks from our chief leak officer. But yeah, lots of exciting community stuff to come. So
yeah, anyone who missed whitelisting for the pre-sale, keep your eyes peeled because we have something coming for the rest of our community.
Ooh.
Okay, that's great. I will certainly do that. And just out of curiosity, I know some new projects have, botched a number of launches recently, and gas wars have kind of gone through the roof. Like, is there anything that you guys want to put in place to kind of avoid that outside of the, obviously the whitelist?
Yeah, I mean, the
so
whitelist is one thing, right? Which is kind of, if you're on the list, you're pretty much guaranteed. So there's no rush to mint that. But also, the toy box mechanic is designed to give a little bit of pressure for the main release, because in that main release, we want people to be able to take time to configure their characters. And so once you have a toy box, it's kind of guaranteed. And so there's no need to rush into the main minting event. It's really hard to do this stuff in a way that genuinely does avoid gas wars. And, for every method I know out there that exists to try and make it less likely to be the case, there are ways that breaks too. So we're just going to try and do our best with these two mechanics to soften the blow.
Yeah. If we had the 50,000 trying to be minted all on the same day, then that would have just fallen to pieces. Which is one of the main reasons why we've done the 2-stage drop.
Okay, great. Appreciate it. Thanks. That's all from me.
No problem.
Yes, man. Thank you. Any other community questions? Oh, yep, we got one.
Yep.
We got two.
Here we go. If we invite you up a little bit early, just stay muted until the other questions are finished, and then you can have your time to shine. Hey, Real-Time Gibbon.
Hey guys, is that coming through?
Yes.
Yeah, we can
hear you.
Cool. Hey, so I've got like a really basic question here. The actual process of minting something, for a lot of us who've never actually done that before, is that going to be sort of self-explanatory as you go through the process, or is there some resource for people who want to figure out how to do that?
Yeah, so the user experience we've made is as easy and explanatory as possible. The team's actually spent a lot of time on the UX design of the minting site to make that familiar and easy to follow along. I would suggest reading up, getting a little bit familiar with Web3 mechanics like wallets and that sort of stuff ahead of time. Download yourself a MetaMask and get a wallet set up and all that sort of stuff. Other than that, it should be a pretty straightforward process.
Sure. Right. Cool. Hey, thanks so much, guys. Yeah, love your work.
No problem.
Yes,
Thanks.
thank you. Yeah, just on that, like one thing we are going to be careful about is when we publish the minting site. And one reason why we wouldn't do a walkthrough before then is we want to make sure that we provide as few opportunities as possible for attack vectors that might kind of harm the community with scams and stuff like that. So the minting site itself will be released very close to the actual mint event so that people can't scrape and, kind of make fake sites and those kinds of things.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Welcome.
Thank you. Basic question, because this is my first whitelist that I'm participating in. You mentioned that there's I'm super excited. It's like I finally got in before, my first one.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I feel very good about it. I'm happy. So how does it work? Can you explain? You said there's two sales. So there's the whitelist mint, and there's going to be the mint for the rest of the 10,000 that's left afterwards, or same day, or
Yeah. So there'll be a bit of time between the whitelist and event and the main mint to make sure that we don't force people to kind of hurry up and mint, and therefore you have the gas problem. And the process, if you're on the whitelist, is pretty much the same process if you're not, except you get to, if you are on the whitelist, you'll be allowed through in the first phase, and if you're not, you won't. So you'll get an error message if you're not on the list and you try and mint early. Otherwise, you'll be able to go through and make that first mint. And then if you came back for the second phase after the whitelist, then you'd be able to go again and mint on that.
Is the second phase first come, first serve?
Yeah.
How does that work? Okay, so that's going to be like the moment you announce it's open, all of us crazy bastards are going to go and mint as much as we can, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's limited to 3 boxes per mint request. So
yeah. Okay, cool. Sweet, thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Okay, thank you.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, good.
How are you?
Welcome on up.
Thanks. Yeah, I came into this project pretty late. I managed to get a fluff the other day and segued across to here. So I don't know too much about it, but the Artificial, Football Association kind of caught my attention and made the whitelist, which is super great. I just wondered if you could, explain a little bit more about that in terms of, or point me in the direction of any podcasts or things or recordings where I can find out more on it. But I'm assuming you mint a brain and 3 NFTs, possibly characters, etc. And then moving forward into, the whole play to earn thing, do you team up with other people who have a couple of characters themselves to kind of create a team? Is it you need them aside type thing? How's that all planned to work out? It's kind of interesting.
So the AFA game will be released sort of a little bit later down the track after the minting of the characters is done. So the idea there is that it's 4-a-side sort of soccer or football match. that you can put 4 of your characters into a game. So you create a little team of your own characters, put a brain in each one of them, send them off to the gym to learn. So you can kind of send them off to a gym, which you can think of like a hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball Z, if you know that series, where they go and learn how to play soccer in hyper time, learn new strategies, learn how to work together as a team. They come out of that process, and then you can send them off to play against other people's teams who have done the same thing. I think some of the mechanics around teaming up with others is really interesting, and it's some of that stuff we've been thinking about to introduce into the game as we go along. It's going to be a continuous development thing. We're launching with the 4-a-side sort of method, and it's think about it as kind of like a team management kind of game. You manage and you train your guys, and you assemble a team with the right stats and traits that you want to sort of that you think is going to work well together, and then send them off into the world to play, and then sort of tweak it as it goes along. So kind of mechanism discovery stuff. Are you there? I think we lost you, Scotty.
Yeah, I think just to kind of round out that conversation. So, the other thing that's kind of built into the game mechanics is these kind of layers of game. David mentioned the kind of team manager, part of it, but then you've got kind of the training part of it, which is like another mechanism discovery. So training your individual characters and seeing how they kind of evolve and grow. Then you've got the kind of tradability aspects, so kind of the trading game of the assets themselves, and the ability for those to grow in value over time or to be useful to someone else because of their team composition. And then you've got the play to earn game, which is, through the challenge mechanics inside of the game, being able to earn ASTO rewards for gameplay, and then additional rewards to help you gain further in-game items and level ups and progression through stadiums and land ownership and all those other kind of really interesting things that kind of broaden out the game ecosystem itself. So there'll be quite a few interesting layers for people to get involved with.
Hello.
Cool. Thanks, Scotty.
Hey, XP Wow.
Everybody.
Did I say that right?
Hey.
Oh. Hold on one sec. I lost my my sound went out. I'll just do this in a couple questions, and then I will exit so I can hear the answer. The interoperability with fluffs, can you guys talk about that a little bit? Also, when you say set rarities for your tunes when they go to play, is that something once you set it, is that done, or will you be able to change from match to match to try to make your team better? Is there a way to upgrade your team? Also, will we be able to view matches going on, or is this something where you put a team in, they put a team in, and the match happens and it says, hey, this is the result, here you go? A few questions. Thank you, guys.
No worries. Yeah, I think so. To answer your first question on interoperability with Fluff World, we've got 3 live projects we're working on at the moment for ASM integration with Fluff World. We haven't told anyone what those are, but they're all super cool. You'll find out about one of them at least this month. So Flufftober is going to be a good kind of release. It's not probably one that anyone's expecting, so I'm pretty amped about it because it's going to be very cool. in terms of the gameplay, yeah, the whole idea is that your players can learn. So when you put them into a training gym, they actually get more experience at playing the game, and therefore they can improve in playing the game. And so as you progress through the different game levels and those kinds of things, you might need to train. And if you find that one character performs better at a certain task, and that's important task to how you think the strategy to win that against others is, then you can, train that one further or swap them out for someone who has the skills that you think are going to be important for winning in that environment. So trainings are really, and improving your character is a really important part. And then the last bit, yeah, it's like totally going to be watchable. You'll actually see them playing games. It's not some kind of like, card game format where you just kind of spin the dial and see the outcome. They actually punt the ball around and try and block each other and try and steal the ball, and it's like characters playing a football game. So I think hopefully that answered all the questions there.
Yeah, he had to leave because of his audio issues, but yeah. Basically everything I was going to say. Yeah.
Great, welcome to the stage, T-Coach. Oh, sorry about that, David. Go on.
All right. No, T-Coach, you're on mute by the looks of it.
Hey, how are you?
Hey,
can you hear me?
Good.
Yep.
Hey, I got a quick question. First, I want to thank you guys for everything you're doing. I'm psyched about this project. It's awesome.
Cool. Thanks, bro.
Thanks,
I appreciate it.
Okay, so I have land in Decentraland, and I was wondering, is this something I would be able to use as a guide? I'm looking to create a story in the land, and I'm wondering if I could apply this brain to an NFT that I possibly created to kind of guide people through the story and maybe possibly trigger certain events. Is that something we'd be able to do?
Yeah, that's
100%.
exactly the kind of thing.
Yeah, 100% one of the use cases that we've seen for this, and really keen to start developing on that after the AFA games released. Definitely.
Yeah, or
Wow.
have the community come and develop that themselves. So, like, once the protocol's out there, community creativity and community bounties will be activated for these different kinds of use cases as well. So, we've actually had a conversation with some of the Decentraland team around bringing in these virtual helper. We call them companion agents inside of Decentraland's environment.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, great. That's all I got. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, man.
I see Brooke slid up onto the stage. Hello, Brooke.
Hey, Brooke.
Hey, team. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Hey, good. That's the least boomery my entrance has been so far. I just want to congratulate
myself. That was on point.
That's awesome. Really promising signs for the project. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm sorry. There was a bit there where I got distracted doing some household cleaning, and you may have covered this when they were talking about the combining teams. But is there going to be tradability? So you get your box set, you're doing an okay job of training, but potentially you want to trade and purchase another team member from someone else to come into your team. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
totally.
Well, that's kind of native to the space, to the NFT space, right? So
Yes.
the tradability, obviously, we're going to be available on OpenSea. The pulling through the stats is going to be actually a really interesting thing. So in our dashboard, because we kind of have to extend the functionality of OpenSea a little bit to enable this stuff. So we'll have a separate dashboard where you can actually go through and view the stats behind your player. So if you send them off to a gym, it'll come back with a report saying, okay, it's striking at this percent, or it's blocking at this percent, or any of the other sort of metrics that we put in there. And those will be the things that people are going to be trading on, saying, okay, I want a really shit-hot striker. I'm going to look at the marketplace and see what's out there and try and find one that's going to fit within my team.
But
Yeah,
the team is limited.
Each player is an individual NFT. So if you wanted to sell yours, you can sell it. If you wanted to trade it with someone else, you can trade it. And they're not kind of locked as a team. You kind of load them up as individual players into the team format when you play the game.
Oh, I see. So it's not even like you have to maintain a team, a box of 4 of them. You've got you could have 15 in your wallet and just say, I'm gonna load up this mix for this game.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, this is getting deep into it now. So there might be a chance where you know who you're playing and you build horses for courses. You build a team to beat that team.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well,
that's awesome.
Well, yeah, I think the initial format will be a challenge format rather than a direct match format.
I think
so. You'll put your team up, who you think's the best, into a particular league, and that team will be matched by the game to another team that's at the same level of challenge, and that allows for people who are potentially newcomers to challenge newcomers and whales to challenge whales, but without having a system where you can rig it to challenge yourself, and therefore just kind of farm the game rewards.
I see. That's awesome. Okay, and I'm assuming bracketed down to we might have a championship, a monthly championship that has 5,000 strong brackets that all kind of get all the way down to one team winning a championship.
Yeah, so we'll definitely introduce other formats.
Yeah,
brilliant.
We've been talking about.
Also, I think most people thinking it. I'm also not single, so just clarifying that.
I was going to ask.
Sorry. Not back-to-back disappointment here, guys. I'm sorry.
God damn it, Brooke, letting everyone down.
Sorry. It's all from me.
Thanks, Brooke.
Cool. Hey, Danny C.
Hey, all. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to ask a question. Do I have time for 2?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah, so I love what you guys are doing. This is so fascinating. So just internally, I was wondering if you can kind of tell us how you're all thinking you'd like to see your early community or mentors, both for AFA and with the brain that comes with the mint. How would you want to see us engaging with that in your ideal world? What are the team's goals and what would help the team with how we use it?
Yeah, good question. Good. I mean, go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I was saying, I guess initially getting involved in the minting process, and then when we launch the customization piece, there's going to be a lot of really, really cool things for people to show off. And because you're going to be involved in that creation piece, I think it opens up an opportunity for people to show their creativity and do things like design a team within a specific theme and show that off to the rest of the community, which is really cool. At the moment, we're in a community building phase. We want to get a bunch of real people behind this that are actually passionate about it. We've focused on organic growth so far. And not done any sort of botting tricks or any of that sort of nonsense. Everybody who's jumped in the Discord has been a real true supporter of what we're doing and is genuinely interested in what the project's about, which is really cool. So getting the community involved, asking questions, joining us on the AMAs, sharing out the details to everyone as we go along is what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, I think also just to add to that, as they're released, we want the developer community to engage too. So if you're in the developer community, then reach out, and if you've got ideas about how to use the protocol or content that you want to apply it to and those kinds of things, so start to get active in it. I think as the token comes out, then obviously we want the community to participate in governance processes. So that's another really important thing that the community can do in terms of helping decide how we shape this going forward. And then if you're kind of not technical, but you want to help out, it's always good to have people out there kind of sharing the word, making memes, sharing memes, kind of broadening the community base and educating more people about what we're up to.
Awesome, thank you. How or if are you thinking about how whales or guilds might participate in a way that actually helps you, and in a collaborative way versus let's say something that could be perceived as extractive? Early on, I think that's important, and I was just wondering how you're thinking about DAOs, whales, or guilds being involved.
Yeah. So I mean, as an example of how we've approached this, when we did the early contribution round, we looked at people who were going to be able to bring value in three categories. Were they able to bring content to integrate to the protocol to make it more useful? Were they able to bring community to provide more reach for the protocol? Or were they able to bring capital to support the liquidity of the protocol? We didn't give anyone a big check, and we have a large number of really great, top tier contributors in that round, and we wanted to make it as broad as possible and have high participation as a factor rather than kind of whale-like behavior. So that's a kind of a mentality that the project has, and something we want to keep going down the road with. Good, strong, resilient communities are ones that have lots of active participants across it, and the more decentralization, the better.
Awesome, thanks. Great work. I'm following your project very closely, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have Uggsflu. I hope I said that right. Up here for the next question. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Yeah, great.
Hey, so I just have a couple questions. So as soon as we mint the brain, how quickly can we actually stake it to start earning ASTO?
Yeah, so you stake ASTO to earn brains, not the other way around.
Okay.
Yeah, so your brain, we're looking to make sure you get some utility for that pretty early. The game itself, AFA game, is going to be down the track a bit in terms of being able to use your brain to play AFA, just because it's a cool game and it takes a bit of time to pull together. But there'd be kind of two activities, I guess, or maybe three in that time frame between when you get your first brain and when you're able to play the AFA game. One will be stake ASTO to mine more brains so that you can have a full team of brains, because you only have one to start off with. Two is use them in some of your kind of pre-game utilities, like maybe the one that we're bringing out with Fluff World. And then three would be, if you're in the developer community, start kind of building out other use cases. I know David and his team have got some tricks up their sleeves for some other utilities before the game, but we won't talk too much about them now. But the idea is to kind of give you some stuff to do before the game, and then the game comes out, and then we'll hopefully see a lot of people take that model up and start to build out other cool things on top of it.
Okay, sounds good. And then maybe I'm wrong here, but in order to play AFA, each individual player will need its own brain, correct?
Yeah, correct.
So will you be able to move the brains from player to player?
Oh, yes, for sure. Yeah.
So in that event, if you're trying to track statistics for a specific player, how does that work if you move the brain from one player to a different player? Wouldn't that kind of change?
Yeah, so you have to think of the player as a skin. So if you have watched sort of the Altered Carbon series or read the books, you might spot that's kind of the inspiration for a name. You got to think of it like a sleeve where the brains can needle cast into any sleeve in any world. It doesn't actually have to be an APA player. You can needle cast a brain into a fluff if you want, or one of the other many NFTs that are out there to give it utility and artificial intelligence in the space that it's in.
Yeah, so the stats follow the brain, and more accurately, the stats for AFA follow the AFA memory. So when you save your training or the output of a game or experience you've got with your character, it actually follows the brain and specifically the memory for that particular skill.
Okay, that makes sense. And then as far as like creating gems and whatnot, I know you guys said that there will be kind of a out of the box experience type of gem where you can just kind of essentially click a button to train. But if we were to want to kind of create our own gem, when will the tools for that kind of release? Like, is there going to be some sort of native language to create stuff like that within the ASTO protocol, or is it going to be using Solidity or something like that?
Yeah, no, so the gems are protocol agnostic, I guess is the best way to describe it. So there's nothing stopping the community from day one creating their own gems for a specific task and using the protocol to create skills for that task, which could be saved against those brains. In the case of AFA, the game, the gems are part of the game's platform, and our intention is initially to bootstrap that and provide a place where we're providing that capability to everyone, but over time to decentralize that capability. In that process, we will develop a generic type of SDK that could be applied to other types of games or environments. So it's kind of 3 bits there, I guess.
Okay, awesome. Well, yeah, I'm really excited. Can't wait to start playing around with some of that stuff. Love the work you guys are doing, and that's it. Thanks again.
Cool. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks for the questions.
Thanks so much. Hey, welcome to the stage, Crypto Navi.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me again. All right, a couple of quick questions. So I know that each player, it was just mentioned each player needs a brain. Let's say that I had 3 brains and 4 players. Is there a manual play option for the 4th?
To be honest, you wouldn't want to play against them. They're pretty damn good at the game, and you would lose.
Okay, yeah, just curious more than anything. Okay.
Yeah, it'd be like playing against Ronaldo.
Okay, fair enough.
But having said that, that's just for AFA. Like, we fully expect, and we've been playing around with the concepts of team assist type ASMs, where you are the primary character and your ASMs drive team assist roles. So I think that we'll see formats like that come out. It's just not for AFA.
Interesting. Yeah, I could see that in like a shooter game or something. Like you build up your little army. It could be cool. Nice.
Yeah. Shooter is something we're specifically playing with at the moment.
Makes sense. Yeah, that's the person that came to mind. Okay, so next thing for the training process, wondering about is there a standard fee in ASTO to send your player or your brain to the gym? Or is it somebody could choose to either pay 100 ASTO or 10,000 ASTO and then expect much better results if they pay 10,000 versus 100 per session? Just wondering about those mechanics and parameters.
Yeah, we don't want that process to be like, if you're a whale, you've got a much better chance of winning the game. There will always be some risk an opportunity for whales to have an advantage. But the way training works is really interesting in that time has an effect on how you learn and what skills you learn for sure. But it doesn't always result in a superior outcome in game. Just like, some players might train to play a game in the real world an equal number of hours with someone else, and that other person could be a genius at that particular thing or have the right physique for that particular thing and far exceed their capability even given the same training time. So there's kind of an element of train more, get better, but also it's not a linear thing. So just like in the human world, we have this kind of curve of capability. The same thing will happen in this intelligence as well.
Awesome. That's really cool. And then I guess last question is are we going to be able to specifically say like, hey, I want this player to be an amazing striker, so I want to train whichever trait maps to that, or we just send them to the gym a bunch and then it's like, wow, turns out this one really ended up being a great striker and it's just kind of worked out that way?
It's kind of a mix of both. So you would kind of select for traits that you would think that would make a good striker. So like fast and nimble and has good perception.
Like maybe if the fluff has a Lambo.
Yeah, like, but it's actually in the brain that has the traits. So that's in the genome matrix themselves. So you would select a brain that has the particular traits you're looking for, and then go send it to the gym and see what the outcome is. And as the community evolves and people start to understand how the mechanics affect things, then there'll be plenty of information out there about how certain traits affect your characters in certain ways. So you would select a genome matrix or a brain that you want based on those traits, send it off to the gym, and then see what the outcome's going to be, and create a good striker that way.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, I think that'll do it for me for now. Thanks, everybody.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Thanks so much. Hey, Tall Poppy, what's up?
Hey guys, thanks for your time. I just had a question about the attributes and traits. Will there also be sort of tendencies for each brain as well, or each character? I'm just thinking like high-page FIFA would be like real hyper-aggressive. Is there a sort of control we'll have in terms of how they'll play or how they'll perform in that particular game?
Yeah, so the control is selecting the genome matrix you want with the traits that you want. So that's why we've got the genome mining ability, so that the community can start producing these brains with different kinds of combinations of traits, because they come out of that process as a random thing. So the idea is that you'll trade for the one that a particular type of personality that you want, and then load that into your character as a brain. We have thought about giving players in the AFA game specifically ability to nudge the weighting on these things to see what the outcomes are. We're still playing around with that mechanic to see if it's going to provide a good user experience or not. But ultimately, it's the trading side of the game that determines that sort of thing.
Okay, sweet. Cheers, that's all. Thanks.
All good.
Cool, thank you. And welcome, LV50. Nice to see you back.
Hi, team. How is everyone?
Hey, good.
Hey,
good to have you back.
Thanks.
Good. I've got 4 short questions. Feel free to kick me off stage at any time. How much is Asto to buy, and what other ways to acquire Asto?
So initially, the only way to get Asto is to stake assets in the yield farming pool. So we'll release the full list of assets, ahead of the event. But you can probably guess some of the projects we're close to and what pools we'll be creating based on those. We also, once that first epoch's completed, there'll be tokens, no doubt, put on the market at that point where you can purchase them on Uniswap by the people who farmed in that phase.
Excellent. And following on from Crypto Navi's question, is there a potential to, when you're mining new brains and you're staking ASTO, are you able to stake more ASTO to decrease the time it takes to mine a brain?
Yeah, the intention is that the time will, or the rate of staking or production of brains will be relative to your ASTO stake.
Great. Do AFA players get tired, or can they play game after game?
Good question. They can play game after game.
Yeah, this is one of the interesting things that this protocol enables for play-to-earn games or games in general, is that many games introduce artificial mechanics like tiredness into the gameplay to prevent bots from having an advantage over the humans. Whereas we're saying, go hard bots, be bots, and like the Super Olympics, we want these things to like go to their peak performance, and everyone's on the same playing field because everyone can use a bot.
Yeah, excellent, fantastic. And last one, can Fluffs play AFA?
Not in release 1. We do want to look at how we can integrate other player characters down the track, but building AFA is a big task in its own right, and we want to make sure that we deliver that game first for the AFA All-Stars. Having said that, it doesn't mean we're not building games for Fluffs.
Okay.
Get it out there. Fantastic. Love it. Thank you very much, team, and looking forward to the 20th or thereabouts to mint.
Thanks, bro. Always a pleasure.
Cheers.
Hey, welcome back, Teal. You're muted there.
Hey guys. I'm
back.
Hey.
I feel like something clicked during this conversation. I just want to clarify it. So the protocol is protocol agnostic to other protocols. And let's say other play-to-earn games, what they would technically, all they need to do is plug in via your API so that they can import kind of the mechanisms of bots into their games. So they don't actually have to build games on top of your protocol. They just need to connect to your protocol so that the bot can function, make memories, and all that kind of stuff.
100%. Yeah.
Awesome. That's super cool.
So the idea is you've kind of got a meta protocol, like a generic primitive that the ecosystem can use across lots of different use cases. And one thing that we are already doing is working with existing game developers with games to try and integrate ASMs into those environments. And I think also, you can think of it a little bit like Chainlink, in that you've got this kind of two quite generic primitives that can be applied to lots of different kinds of agent tasks, and therefore lots of different kinds of applications. And really, we're focused on the protocol, and we're using AFA as a way to bootstrap that protocol and show people what's possible. But the biggest users of the protocol over time might end up being other games or other applications.
Super cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the work you're doing.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
In reverse as well, people could take the AFA All-Stars and use them in other world environments too. They're not locked to AFA either.
Yeah. One of the things that I really want to do once the tools are available is run game jams with the AFA All-Star assets, and see what the indie dev community comes up with. if you watch some of these game jams, the things that people can build within 24 hours or 72 hours or however long they give them to do things is just incredible. And so stoked to get into that space.
Cool. I actually have another question, if that's okay. If not, I'll step down.
No.
Yeah, go for it.
Fire away.
So I imagine there's already a lot of AI platforms out there that build, out AI functionality. Is it relatively easy for those AI, I don't know, let's call them structures that train AIs to plug into ASM? So it wouldn't be very complicated to train your new brain with already created AI training platforms, sort of thing.
That's definitely the intention of the platform. Is not to lock us into a single way of doing it, and there's so much fantastic AI research going on out there. It would be silly not to allow the protocol to take advantage of it.
Is there there's different ways that AI learns? Is there like a specific way that the ASM brain learns, or is it like multi AI? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we've really kind of thought quite hard about how do you make a good primitive, and the key to making a good primitive is to do simple things really well and make them available to as many types of processes as possible. And so ASM isn't concerned about the training environment you use or the model type that you use or the data that you use. All it cares about is proof of ownership and injection of personality into those processes. And those are the two things that we have the patent for. And what it means is if a new type of AI model comes along or a new type of data environment to train in or whatever it happens to be, the protocol keeps going. It doesn't need to change to adapt to those new things. It also means, like you said, that all the wealth of existing prior development in the space can be leveraged into to those two mechanics.
I'm just way more excited. I'm just getting more and more excited. Thanks, guys. Wow.
Thank you.
All good. Thanks, man.
Hey, Skeena. Real quick, I've been trying to invite you up, Nero, but you haven't been accepting. So if you send another request, I'll invite you up after Skeena. Otherwise, we are running a little short on time. So if there's any people who have already been up, I will be prioritizing people who haven't before you. Hey, Skeena, welcome to the stage.
So you're on mute.
There we go.
There you go.
Hey guys.
Yo.
So usually I'm just I just hang in the dark and I'm more of a listener, but I felt I had to talk this time.
Go for it.
So I'm a keen supporter of you guys, and I've been loving everything that you've been doing. Been in from the start, but I've come to a bit of a predicament. So I know you guys are keen supporters of our beautiful nation's longevity, but I feel like I'm going to miss out on the 20th. Is there any other way that I can get in? It's just our Navy has decided to ship out and get out of reception around that time.
Oh shit, man.
No.
Just send me a DM. That's
sweet.
That's something we can work on.
Yeah, because I'm on the whitelist and I'm like so keen to get in, but forces are just working against me right now.
No, well, you send me your address that's on the whitelist, and I will I'll work out something with you to make sure we get you an ASM.
Thank you so much. Also, my reception cut out just at the start of this, but I lost what you guys said about the minting price.
0.09.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Seriously loving the work you're doing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks for your service.
Hey, Jace,
Nice.
welcome to the stage.
Hey, yeah, man, this ASM thing, man, I'm really, really excited about it.
Thanks,
It's
Ray.
blowing my mind. So, just jumping into this. So let's say, for instance, I mean, I'm just throwing this out there. So with the A-frame, we can train them in football and stuff like that, you know, for speed and all that sort of stuff. Then when it comes to fluff, is there a possibility where we have an underground eventually where I know there's been talks about our Lambo backgrounds can print out into an NFT. Could we create like a Lambo race thing where we actually have all our different fluffs and we can actually the Lambos can race like Fast and the Furious and we can do competitions and stuff? That would be amazing.
Hold that thought.
Okay.
That's all I'll
The
say.
Lambo gang. Love the Lambo gang.
Because the Lambo gang is so strong, and even I'll put up a Lambo for competitions and stuff. Yeah. But I mean, I just think that would just blow minds, you know, like just using the APA, you know, playing soccer and stuff like that, and the AI, and then you can actually, all the different fluffs that we have, the chick fluffs and that, and then the Lambo gangs, and we have them racing. That would be, that would be next level.
I like that. Hold that thought.
Okay, I'll hold that thought. Great. And just one other thing. Okay, so I know that you've had seed investors and stuff like that in Altered State Machine. Is there a sort of a rule or something? Because obviously they might have a whole bunch of tokens of Asters where they can't just stake, you know, huge amounts, so they can mint a lot of brains to make an unfair advantage. Or I'm not too sure how that works.
Yeah, so
just pushing that one.
The way that early contributors work is that their tokens only represent a small percentage of the overall tokens, and then each of them has a vesting contract that only releases a certain amount per week. So they can't, you know, they don't get the whole lot at once, and they can't dump them into the protocol at once to kind of have a major advantage over everyone else.
Okay, that's great. Anyway, yep, I'll look, just want to say, look, guys, and you're all doing a fantastic job. And
thanks, man.
Carmen, you're doing an awesome job too. So yeah, we haven't given you props, but yeah, thanks for putting up the guys. And man, this is so exciting, you know. And I'm a Kiwi from Auckland, so you know I'm really getting behind you guys, eh? So yeah, thanks guys for everything.
Kiwi representing it.
You have no idea what Carmen puts up with. She's an angel.
So does my wife. She is, mate. Okay, cool.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, Ray.
Yo, hey, Trevin, what's up?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my question. I was just curious, most of the use cases you guys have described involve a brain controlling sort of just one character. So I was curious what it would look like for it controlling something like an RTS, like a StarCraft, or will that be possible?
Those are really, really cool use cases, and we've actually seen a lot of that in the sort of strategy and MOBA genres. AI doing some really cool things. If you had a look at Dota, they did put the world's best team against an AI who'd learned to play off different play styles. And I think those are really fascinating use cases to explore. I'm hoping that the community will have the same idea as you, the dev community, and start building out some of those experiences. I would like to personally be involved in building out some stuff like that as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that's exactly what I was imagining. Also, what about layer 2 interoperability? Like, it looks like Immutable might be one of the more prominent platforms for like gaming. So what would it look like if you wanted to bring your brain over to a layer 2 like that?
Yeah, it's a good question. So we designed the protocol to be extendable to other networks and other layers. But we're going to focus initially on the drops on Ethereum, and then work with the community to make those decisions. And probably that will be a function of DAO governance.
Awesome. Thank you for
it definitely will be. Definitely will be a function of DAO governance. But we've thought about it. We know it needs to happen. We probably will see kind of games existing on different networks that integrate with assets that are on Ethereum, or could be that we extend the ability to mint ASM brains on other networks. We've been doing some experiments with cross-chain governance, so you can have DAO extending beyond the Ethereum mainnet as well.
Cool, thank you.
Hey, thanks so much. Lux, welcome to the stage.
Hi, thank you. Very novel, very exciting project. I'm looking forward to it. I'm curious about the AI training infrastructure. Could you maybe speak a little bit about that? Would it be decentralized, something like the Chainlink Oracle nodes?
Yeah, so initially for the AFA game, we're releasing our own infrastructure. So just to make sure that it's going to be a smooth process to people getting on the into the game, and that training happens in a smooth and consistent way. But in parallel to that, the team is working on decentralizing the training infrastructure as well. So we hope to have that launched soon after we launch the game, to enable people to get into that. And one of the big drivers for that is going to be Ethereum moving to proof of stake. There's going to be a whole lot of GPU compute power out there that is fantastic for running machine learning tasks. That's going to be available, and we would like to give some utility to that compute power and that sunk costs that people have invested in for Ethereum mining.
Oh, that's very interesting. Could you maybe talk a little bit about the data that might be required for training these bots if somebody is running their own training infrastructure?
Yeah, so the data is on a case-by-case basis. Depends on the environment you're training for. With the example of AFA, it's all experience-based training. So how that works is literally a copy of the game run in hypertime, and many copies run at the same time. So the players learn by experience. In that case, other use cases will use different types of data inputs depending on what works best for the situation.
Oh, so it's going to be a real-time learning as the bots play in these games.
You can do any kind of yeah.
But you could have a model that learns off of big data. You could have a model that uses an adversarial approach to learning. Like, there's all sorts of ways that you could train your AI, and that's not what ASM's concerned about. What ASM's concerned about is proving that the resulting outcome of that training is fingerprinted, so that you can prove you own it with your NFT.
Great. Thank you for answering my questions. I'm very excited and looking forward to the launch.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
So it seems that we have gone through our whole list of requests. If anyone wants to put their hand up now for a last minute question, please do so.
I got to jump off, Fam, but I'm sure the team will follow up with any other questions in the text channel as well.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yep, of course.
Wow,
Thanks,
that was
everyone.
a really good AMA. The time just flew by. I think we were just answering questions constantly, which was great. But if you have any other questions, chuck them in the Ask Us Anything channel. I usually jump on whenever I've got a spare second, as most of you already know, and try and answer as many of them as I can.
Thanks, guys. Woohoo.
Thanks so much. Yeah, thanks so much for coming.
Keep an eye out for more announcements today.
Yep, got some juicy ones coming up too. So if you didn't get whitelisted, definitely keep an eye out.